What's going on, guys? Boz with Boz Reptiles back again, and I'm doing a video response from the last video. Last week I talked about pricing your hatchlings, and this week I'm going to be talking about a few different questions that some people commented on in my last video. So branching off from pricing ball python hatchlings, NC Fish On asked, what snake can you buy that's the cost of a house? So to answer that question right off the bat, the yellow belly paired to yellow belly, which produces an ivory, was sold for $150,000. As I mentioned in my previous video, the market changes, and that's no longer a snake today that you can buy for $150,000. It's much more affordable now. The most expensive snake right now is a sunset. Sunsets are going for about 30 grand, and you can get het sunsets for about 10 grand. If you don't know what a het is, it's essentially one copy of a recessive gene. Doesn't show a visual. If you pair it to another het or another visual, you get a visual of that snake. So another person asked by the name of Alan Harper wants to know about ASF rats. As far as ASF rats go, Alan Harper's question was, do your snakes get stuck on ASF if you feed ASF? The short answer is no. The long answer is, I have two snakes that are picky eaters. Do I feed them ASF? Yes. The rest of my clutch, or the rest of my collection, will take whatever I feed them: Norway rats, ASF, frozen thawed, whatever. But when it comes down to picky snakes, yeah, I'm gonna go ASF because I want to give them the best possibility of a successful feed. Right now, actually my main focus is I want to produce banana clowns. In order to do that, I'm gonna need a clown female. Right now I have a banana pin het clown. How I got the idea was I was browsing YouTube, and I found somebody who produced a banana clown and posted it, and it was pretty much the sickest animal I've seen thus far. So banana clowns, are definitely going to be in my future. But yeah, as far as the pricing of the snakes, stuff like albinos, pinstripes, they were going for 25, 30 grand when they first came out. Barchek is the one who brought over the pinstripe from West Africa back in the 90s. First ones were selling for 25 grand. He bought his for 27 out of Benin, which is in West Africa next to Togo and Ghana. You had the spider, same thing, it was going about 25 grand a pop. He bought the albino for 25 grand. So it went albino, then you had the spider, the pinstripe. The cinnamon sold for 45K. The yellow belly ended up being 150K because when you produced yellow belly to yellow belly, it made an all white snake. It was a big deal back then. Sold for 150. So that's the snake that could, buy a house. Then we move into things like, the banana. The banana sold for 65,000. The first one produced. It was produced by a guy named Will Slough in Illinois, and it was also produced by Kevin McCurley out of NERD, New England Reptile Distributors. 65K was the going price, and they produced that in 2003. After that, it was scaleless head. That was the next thing. So scaleless head was, another snake out of West Africa. And when Barczyk produced scaleless head to scaleless head and made an all scaleless snake, he was offered $150,000 for it. So yeah, it's $150,000 for the all scaleless. It was $125,000, I believe, for the super yellow belly. Jumping into a quick FAQ. Where do ball pythons originate? West Africa. What humidity do you need? 55 to 60% humidity. Now there's two answers. There's the textbook answer and the Boz Reptiles answer, and I'll try to give you guys both. As far as humidity, you kind of do what works for your snake. Some snakes are going to need more, some are going to need less, and you know how much a snake needs based on how they shed. They're going to shed about every 4 to 6 weeks. For me, it feels like every day since I have 12. And if they shed all in one piece, your humidity's fine. Don't worry about it. If they're having stuck shed, then you need to modify some things. You know, start spraying down your substrate and maybe add some moss if need be, and make changes as needed. How big do snakes get? 4 to 5 feet for females, 2 to 3 feet for males. 1,500 grams to breed for females, 500 to 800 grams for males. Temperatures 70 to 90 degrees or 80 to 90 degrees. You have cool spot, hot spot, height on each side, 90 degrees on the hot spot. And honestly, in the Boz Reptiles answer would be the snake's going to be happy as long as it's above 70 degrees. Even as something like 75 degrees, your snake will be fine. But under your enclosure, you do need a heat source. So that is where your heat mat comes in. Ball pythons need belly heat. How long does it take to go from snake impregnation to laying eggs? 4 to 5 weeks. How long does it take from laying eggs to hatch? 60 days. What else do I get a lot of? Let's see. How much do they cost? Cover that last video. On the low end, $30. On the high end, 10 grand. 30 grand if you want a visual sunset. A head sunset, 10 grand. Repticons, how often are they? When it's not COVID-19, they're all the time, all over the country. See if there's anything else that I get asked. Oh, how often do you feed? Once a week. Yep. Not too complicated. Can you house them together? Not a good idea. I wouldn't recommend it unless they just hatched out. Other than that, no. Next video, do you guys want to see an aquarium? Yes or no? I have my aquarium set up. If you guys would like me to do an aquarium video, post in the comments below, let me know. I'll do one if you want. I'll show you my setup. I'll tell you what's in my aquarium, what kind of products I'm using, give you my honest opinion on everything from freshwater, saltwater, aggressive, community, filters, size of tanks, you name it. If you'd rather see another video, which will be pairings, 2020 pairings for Boz Reptiles, I'll let you know. Just post in the comments below if you guys want to know what my pairings are. Heck, I may even let you guys do a little poll, and then that way you guys can put in your input on what pairings you want. And then maybe I'll make a clutch just for you. Post in the comments below which video you want next. Aquariums, see the aquarium setup or see the ball python pairings. Either way. So yeah, let me know. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.